will call this meeting to order. First thing is, do and approve April 2nd, 2024 minutes.
And then that they be accepted as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
So, Robin, when we vote to, extend funding to the next fiscal year, we have to notify,
Okay.
so, just give her a highlighted copy of the minutes, I guess.
Okay.
Next thing is to review and approve April 16th, 2024 warrant.
Move to approve the warrant.
Second.
All in favor?
We haven't received the letter yet, but as part of this warrant, we're funding the next audit. And it's gone from $9,000 a year to $10,800. Like everything else.
Yeah. Next thing, burnout events, Route 11 and 107. I guess we got some more complaints.
Yeah, I call this on the agenda. Been 3 different complaints, one from, a resident that's been there forever, on Woods Mill Road. Guy just built a house on Sand Pond, I don't think realized what was going on. And, another guy that was just bothered by the traffic and the activity in the road during that day.
It was busy.
107 is busy every day, since I've been here for
Yeah.
over 40 years, and when I first moved here, it's like, if you counted 5 cars going by, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's just zing, zing.
Constant.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was congested.
Mhm.
It was packing.
So, I guess it's time to open that can of worms. Anybody else that has something to do with that land that's not conforming with the land has to apply for a CUP. I mean, what's it gonna take to enforce this guy to do it? I know he's, using the donation angle as far as not being a business.
What did they do when they were over in Parkinsfield before, correct? And did they move this, or over Cornish Parkinsfield Way, and then they moved over, was it Standish? What did they do, what did they do for them there?
They kicked it out.
They-
That Barrett came to planning board meeting 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and he spelled this all out. And we basically said, we're not looking real favorably on this. This isn't the kind of thing we want to promote, but if you want to come in with an application, we'll consider it. And he called us names and left. But he said he was gonna have motocross racing, with kids, and he was gonna do practice on Thursday and races on Friday, races on Saturday and Sunday. And he didn't talk about burnouts, but he was, talking about
And it's not so much the screeching of the tires more than I understand that people are coming in with like literally no headers on their motors, which contributes to, it's just the noise, you know?
Well, the other thing is they're also doing burnouts in the middle of the road too, which is a safety issue.
I did get some complaints, I travel that road a lot, and for some reason, the end of 113, and, not 113, but where Woods Mill and Fremont, seems to be a big spinning thing for people since the beginning of time.
There used to be a big thing of they would come down off from Wiggins Hill Road and do it. And then I called the sheriff's department, and I told them exactly, you could hear exactly where the car was turning into, and I told them where it was, and
You're talking right in that, like, right on the telephone pole, basically.
No, down on 107, Merce Road and Wiggins Hill Road.
Okay.
They were doing them down there, and I called the sheriff's department, and.
I think I know the culprit on that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And he goes to the burnout.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, a lot of people do, and that, you know, that brings me to my next.
The other thing is like, when they had the last burnout, there was, somebody sent me a link to, because they showed it live on YouTube, not YouTube, but on Facebook, and they had bales of hay, and people were standing inside the bales of hay, not on the other side. If somebody got hurt, you know, whose responsibility is that? I know it's probably gonna start with the landowners, but is it gonna fall upon Baldwin because we haven't set any rules and regulations up for them?
I think so, but I don't think that's the issue. I think the real issue is the nuisance.
Yeah, I know, the state defines a mass gathering of what, 500? I know we don't have a definition on it, is it 500? You know?
You wanna work on it?
From what I understand.
I've got a bunch of stuff that I've gathered from various towns that have noise ordinances, and,
That's a touchy one though, because you gotta have like study done and like how long, how high the decibels,
I don't think
for
you
how
have to.
long.
I don't think you have to.
You do.
Yeah, but to enforce it, you would have to have someone there with it.
No,
Maybe one
I
on
don't think
each
so.
corner of the property.
I think, you know, if you say, you know, if it extends beyond the range of your property,
Right, right,
and it's the same way with the smoke, we saw the pictures last year,
yeah.
your uncle,
That-
cousin,
Yeah,
you know, you could
Yeah.
see it all the way across the county.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of more a nuisance, like you said, than anything.
As far as the noise, I can hear it, I can hear them. But, I mean, it's not loud, it's not really bothersome to me. So what you're saying is if it goes up beyond the property, then that could be anywhere. They could hear it over Sebago, the first year they had it, we got a complaint from Old Sebago.
Yeah,
Well, I never roaring up on the Sheep Mountain.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
I mean,
So I guess what constitutes making him get a business CUP, you know, it's like,
Well, I know, Don, you've addressed it to him, and he likes being defiant.
Absolutely. The issue, I guess the question is, if you issued him a conditional use permit, what criteria would you
but,
charge it to? And that's why I say, if you had an ordinance that said, these are the criteria, and then you discuss it.
so what, do we put, is it appropriate to throw a moratorium on businesses like that until we get ordinances, and would that be a deterrent? I'm sure it wouldn't, but, I mean, just from all estimates, from what people tell me, I mean, it looks like 1,000 people there on a weekend.
Mm.
That would exceed a lot of mass gatherings, you know.
People could get together, petition the town for a
Would that be
moratorium.
the process?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way a lot of the moratorium ordinances are done, is citizens have a cause.
So we just take the normal 25 votes and, is that the same kind of process? Yeah. Hmm.
So how does that work if you put a moratorium out there and they don't give a flying anyway?
Well, that's what I'm.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, I think the only
Yeah.
recourse we could have was just to levy fines if we had some kind of precedence to go by, you know what I mean, non-conformity with ordinances that we don't have, see,
Right,
that's a tricky
exactly.
situation.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to make the obvious statement, which is, how do we enforce anything? Right?
Hmm.
And so it always would be through notice of violation and go to court.
Right,
And that's an onerous, expensive process, but if you wanna do it, then you gotta do it. So,
Well, we have,
that's assuming that somebody's violating an ordinance that, we wanna pursue that way, so.
well, we have the, Michaela working for the planning board right now, would be a good time to ask her to come up with something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the law is around this, you know, they say, well, you have to, and I can't write the ordinance, I got no idea. But somebody like Michaela's paid to know that stuff.
Mhm.
And I think what they'll suggest is what other towns have done, what other towns
Yeah.
have.
And Spadel has one. They have a noise ordinance, and they have a, mass gathering ordinance.
You know, I know we don't get into the smoke, but like, you know, just say, somebody wants to get married and have 200 people at the house, that should be fine for a day. But, I mean, we're talking upwards of 1,000 people at this place, you know?
and frequent.
Yeah.
It's gonna become
yeah.
more frequent,
Not just
yeah.
one weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too bad he wasn't tucked in another spot, but. No, I just had this verbal complaints, so I feel we need to address it, and
Mm-hmm, right, yeah.
so maybe I'll pass, cause they're gonna be asking me, you know, if I pass along the, information of, it's up to you to get some kind of warrant article, not warrant article,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
One way to approach it, we can approach it, as
Yeah.
Joe said, we can
get Michaela's thoughts on it.
do it, yep, put something in the, land use ordinance update. That would be the best thing, I think,
That would
to
work.
have something on paper that says this is the rule.
Right.
Right
Yeah.
now, we don't have a rule that he's technically violating.
Right, right.
And to just put it in the land use ordinance update would, to me, be the easiest, smoothest way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Because land use ordinance articles have to, cannot be amended from the floor. They go through as they are, up or down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah.
So you know, when you look at how you vote, you look at it and you say, you know, is there,
You wanna get it right the first time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you wanna get it right the first time. And but people are saying whether they're, if they vote it down because of the one thing, they're losing all the other things. You know, so it's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you get things through, to my mind.
I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I collected on a folder on my computer, I'll send it to you, Joe.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that, Bob.
Looking forward to,
Michaela. Well, she'll be here Thursday, so I'll
Yeah.
talk to her.
All right, Cumberland County Regional Assessing Abatement Pequot Trail, map 11, block 37-2.
I believe that's, when we signed the abatement on, do we have the paperwork signed?
here?
And here, Brooklyn Alexander's abatement. Sold that property?
Let me check. No, I think his grandson is there.
Oh, is that who it is? There's somebody there all the time. It's in the warrants. Something simple.
Yeah.
I think this was just the, Cumberland County assessing form.
Oh, yeah.
We've already approved it, we just need to
Yeah.
properly, put it in the proper format. Thank you. It's interesting what he's done here.
I learned not to skip right down. Oh, there's a lot of changes. Who's this guy? Yeah, I guess he was new selectman or something. The guy who was way down the end.
Yeah, he's new for Porter.
Oh, and Hammond leaving? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know if he was, he just quit or what, I don't know what the deal was.
Oh.
The guy who was just,
Oh,
the Porter guy who was a bit of a problem.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Never heard of any name.
Oh, that, yeah.
All his name.
Yeah. And they made me chairman.
Oh, no.
Aren't you
Hey,
happy?
you're in.
Serves me, right?
I know the feeling about it.
You're not there, you'll get to speak up for yourself, right? Scheduled date for proposed personnel policies, special town meeting.
Seventh of May?
May, yeah.
Usually about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I'll give it time. Yep,
So,
6 o'clock.
Works for me.
next thing is request for fire department payroll record audit.
So we've been requested several times to review the fire department pay for the last year, I think.
In 2022, right?
Yeah, and, I think Deb said, that she is still waiting for some data. She has everything from the December through, was it April or something like that?
He wanted to go back to June, didn't he? December to June of 22 and 23.
I think the question is whether the pay included December of
Mm-hmm.
22.
No.
So, but we got that information, we're just looking for some of the other should be able to get it done as soon as we get the, fire chief to come in and pull up the information.
Yeah. Did she respond to him, saying, yeah, we're working on it? I think she has to give some kind of response to it.
I responded to him
You
saying
did.
that I forwarded it to you, basically,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
left it at that. I have not followed up in any way
Yeah,
other than
I
that.
saw that. Yeah.
Have you heard about what the fire department's doing for a replacement for fire chief?
No.
No.
No. Steve has resigned.
We lost it?
And,
Oh, no.
yeah, a lot of things going on in his life.
New kid and everything.
Yeah,
New kid, new job,
2 jobs.
Right.
so, yeah. Okay.
All right. IRC construction roof repair proposal contract.
So we got the proposal, it looks reasonable. I believe that there's enough money in the reserve account right now that if we, accepted the, proposal and get on his schedule so they do it, you know, right away, we can do this job, and get it done.
Yep.
And, because I think we only put a $10,000 increase to the building reserve account. And part of that would go toward, I think we also included, putting vinyl siding over the T11 stuff.
Yep.
So I think there's enough money to accept this and, just get on with it.
I think we should, yeah.
Yeah. But what it means is though, that we are gonna have to somehow figure out how to get the carpenter work of it done, so.
Oh,
Whenever he decides to start, we're gonna do it. So, anyway, I move that we accept the contract.
That's what you do.
all in favor?
We can keep the bees though.
Oh, the rain too.
Yeah.
All right, reminders, we have a comprehensive meeting Thursday at 3:00. Mary, you got anything?
No, it was just kind of shocking when he left, and fire chief, I'm sad to hear that.
Yeah.
He's gonna be some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
he's not
think-
totally out just yet, he'll be at the town meeting to
I know,
pitch the effort that we've all been trying to move forward.
he did a lot of work in a very short period of
Yes, he did.
time.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it was really nice to listen to him talk, because you understood what he was saying. And he was intelligent enough to be able to do everything that,
Confident in
Yeah.
to,
yeah, I was really sad to hear all this, I really am sad. But I was fearful when he took that other job, that we would be,
Yeah,
Throw away.
it's all about mom and baby sometimes,
you know.
and according to Robin, he put his house up for sale, which he's been,
Well, I know, I heard about that too,
neighbors been harassing
Crazy
him,
stuff.
yeah.
spreading false rumors and stuff.
Wow.
Happy good?
Senior lunch on Wednesday.
Okay.
Tomorrow?
missed that one.
I missed that one, yeah.
And, so the snowstorm didn't mess with the library, but the power outage most recently did. And it stopped the elevator from operating.
Is that the one the other night, the power went out, yeah?
Mhm. So for whatever reason, he came in, he plugged in his computer, and he ran all the diagnostics. He says, I don't even see where it is. I have no idea why this is happening. So he came and he messed with the pressure and the elevator and the power, and bing, everything starts to work. He has no idea what happened.
Huh.
He says he doesn't think it's been any water damage because that was below
Yeah.
the elevator, so it's not directly connected. But I do have an electrician coming in tomorrow morning at 9, who will fix the wire, the ground wire down at the bottom, the little electric wire that does the, light in the pit, and, some pump, should we ever want to put one in there, and, something else. Just a plug. So it shouldn't be a big fix at all.
Mhm.
And then we turn it back on and it should be good for a while. But everything just costs ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching to do this.
Yeah.
Like this electrician wants to charge $100 an hour for however much of the hour he uses, for however many of them come. And I said, well, hopefully there's only one of you, and that you get it done, you know, in a reasonable amount of time.
Right, yeah.
You know, he goes 10 minutes over the second hour, it's another $100.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, oh my God. Welding the light cost over $300 because he charged triple time for it. He had to come from Bridgeton.
And he charged triple time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't these people realize that libraries are,
No, they think libraries are, you know, part of the great government, and they.
well,
can
I
just,
did, I did for a long time.
Yeah,
And then you enlightened me, and Hiram enlightened me.
so we're doing what we can,
Yeah.
getting things back in order.
I have a similar experience. Every time the power goes off at the house, if it's just for a few minutes, everything's fine, but if it's for, several hours,
Mm-hmm.
or really longer like we had during the snowstorm, it can take 2 or 3 days for my systems to come back up.
Wow.
And because they're communicating, there's Ethernet communications and stuff,
Yeah, none of this. This is
responding
just a-
to,
its own little loop, it's not
Yeah.
connected with anything, there's
Yeah.
nothing that, remote at all about it.
You know, complicated stuff now, don't you?
Yeah, he does.
have to write a book on how to operate it.
Yeah. I learn more every time this guy shows up, which is a good thing, but trying to keep a little notebook on how to operate the elevator.
It's an expensive lesson.
No kidding. But they're good people, they answer the question, I can phone them, they troubleshoot, they're really good.
Yeah.
So, good company. Other than that, now we're doing some summer program stuff, I'll catch up on that at a future point in time, closer to the event.
Yeah. Joe, yeah?
Yeah, planning board had a site walk at Nature's Wilderness, on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, so a couple things came to mind because of the sidewalk. As driving in, the landscaping on either side of the road is great. The road is lousy. And, it would help them and help the reputation of the town of Baldwin if some means were to be found whereby Nature's Wilderness could maintain the road, rake it, or whatever it is that needs to happen. But I can imagine if I was hauling in a camper and I was hitting potholes all the way and breaking crockery, I wouldn't appreciate it.
I thought it was in the condition to do that, and I know they had to keep the dust down.
But I don't think they maintain it.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, just for what it's worth,
Yeah, okay,
you know. And the second thing was, I can't stop thinking about areas, projects from planning board point of view. That campground will eventually be 172 campsites when they're through with constructing it, which would be at capacity, say 400 people be there. If a fire were to start, Senator Black Road or even down on 113, and the prevailing wind is from 113 towards the campground. And it might be difficult to get out by coming towards Senator Black Road. When they got their conditional use permit, there was an exit out the other direction. There no longer is.
Yeah.
that's just something on my mind.
It's kinda tough when we're going through there now, yeah.
You know,
It's all washed out now.
I haven't been through, I'm told it's impassable,
It
I
is.
believe, I'm not trying.
Right,
Okay?
yeah.
But it just, it's something on my mind because, you know, life safety
Yeah,
comes up,
yeah, right,
that's all. And I'm not advocating anything, I'm just gonna mention it.
yeah.
And I'll mention it again in another year or two.
You know, it's gonna cost a lot to get that,
Oh, I get it,
yeah.
I get it, but, well, whatever. And I talked about, inviting you guys to a forestry tour.
Yeah.
So I have set up a tour and I will be advertising in the shopping guide for, Saturday morning, May 4th at 9:30. And my forester, Rennie Noel, will be there, and my logger, Ricky Day, will be there. And, we'll talk about why the woods looks the way it does, what the landowner, contribution to management is. That's going to be the focus of what we're talking about, is landowner relationship to the forest.
Yeah.
And so we'll meet up at my house, and we'll go right out behind the barn, right into the woods, and,
Yeah.
talk about things, because I kind of know what's been going on for the last 200 years. Not that I'm a reincarnation or anything.
What time did you say, Joe?
9:30,
Thank
May,
you.
May 4th.
Yeah, I got that far, I didn't get that.
Public invited, very definitely, anybody who wants to come,
Yeah.
just,
Yep.
you know. But I would appreciate you guys coming and just, it's a perspective that I don't talk about much, but I'd love to express it.
Yeah, yeah, I'd be interested, yeah.
Maybe I can ask Ricky why he won't come up and cut my land. I can't get him over there.
The trees
Twice,
aren't big
twice
enough.
he said he's gonna be over, but
The trees aren't big enough,
they're
Bill.
not, no, and I understand that,
Yeah.
right? It'd be more a favor than anything else, but
That'd be a good question to ask him.
it would be,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
harass him a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, thank you for the input.
Yeah.
Okay.
May the fourth be with you.
That's
You pull that one off.
Don.
He's looking pretty good if he's 200 years old.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
I guess two short questions. One, if you wanna get a conditional use permit application, it's $150, and that's been increased a few times over the years. But if you wanna go to the Board of Appeals, it's still $50,
Mm-hmm.
and about the same amount of work involved in both cases. You might wanna consider upping that.
Raising it, yeah.
And the other one, I've had a few cases lately where I've been called to do an inspection. I got there, they made appointments, but they weren't ready, so I had to come back, and then pipes wouldn't hold pressure, so I had to go back a third time. I don't know if you wanna have a re-inspection fee or not. It doesn't matter to me either way,
Mm-hmm.
but I just thought you might wanna be
Something to think
aware of
about,
that.
yeah.
It actually should be, because that's wasting multiple people's time.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
So the conditional use permit fees are set by the planning board, aren't they? No?
So for the.
You guys.
Select board said,
Very specific.
we redid the fees, or checked over the fees, I don't know that we raised any of them a few months ago.
Yeah.
I was not aware of the $50 for the Board of Appeal. I think it probably costs that much to do the advertising and send out letters and,
Does this happen, like, does it multiple inspections, does this happen often, or does it just seem to be like one guy that's,
more so now because people are trying to do things themselves because of the cost, and I understand that. And I've tried to coax them along if I can. But I think if I had discretion, sometimes when I make an appointment and they just didn't bother to call me to reschedule it or leave an email or something,
yeah,
I don't think it'd be unreasonable to.
Should be a nominal fee,
Yeah.
sure.
You know, if they had a reason for it, they would, but.
Like if you miss a dentist appointment, they'll charge you for it, you don't, within
Exactly.
Yeah,
24 hours. of your
restaurants or
appointment.
hotels, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, especially when you take the time to go all the way across town and back.
Right.
That's all other driving and the amount of time you spend there.
yeah.
Saying, no, there's no pressure in the line and you can hear it hissing out for whatever reason. They should have checked that ahead of time. It's up to you folks. I just want to make you aware of it. I've seen it more than I used to.
Maybe I,
No, I'm good other than,
Mariella, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Sandy, you got anything?
No, nothing.
Chad? What's that? You got Stan Pond meeting. When was it?
His email, he wanted to make sure it
Yeah.
was okay with you guys, but I think
I
it was the
responded.
7th.
Yeah.
I think it was the 7th, so we'll just need to confirm that and then get an ad in the paper.
Okay.
And, Chris, asked me to pass along to you that the road crew's been cleaning up and they're readying Brown Road and McNeil Road for paving.
Oh, okay.
Gary asked me to tell you guys, Gary Brown asked me to tell you guys not to pave Brown Road.
Not to pave Brown
It's
Road?
just gonna speed traffic up, buddy. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it was just, he says the road is just not worth paving because the water runs right across it. I think we've heard that from other people.
Yeah. Oh, he's down below there.
And he just, he just thinks it's a waste of money.
Take the money and put it into that land, that road that you were talking about.
No, we don't want to do that.
Oh, okay. We were worried about it, that's why you
I
said.
just, it's a dirt road, it should be raked, it shouldn't be paved.
Oh, I wasn't insinuating that it should be paved, I was saying
Oh,
that put the money into fixing that road
Yeah.
rather than doing it into paving, that's all I'm saying, I don't,
Right,
you know.
Yeah.
Anything else, Chad? Nothing? Anything else? Robert? Bob?
And Robin, did we sign the ordinance for the, road crossing? So, did we have a signed version of it?
I believe you did.
I think we
did,
Yeah.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure you did, because then we went on to talk about the fire department ordinance and how that needs to be, the draft ordinance needs to be amended to say that it was actually adopted in the date. And Steve Sanders has the Word version of that to
I can see if I
do
have
the
it.
amendment. But that was all part of the same conversation, but I will double check on that.
We've been doing ordinances pretty thick and heavy here for a
So,
while. Okay, good.
Dale, again?
No.
The only thing I've got is, my sister's house was broken into, well, not the house, but the garage was broken into this past weekend. And, yeah, I'm wondering what we could do to try, get Sheriff Joyce back here and have him see what we can do to get more patrol up here, or, they broke into Scott's garage, and they stole 2 big golden toolboxes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, Storm putting trail pants up the other day cause I went by one day in that little shed that he has.
yeah,
The doors were like
yeah.
wide open, this was like at 6:30 in the morning, so I stopped and said, hey, just to let you
They
know.
hit that, they
Yeah.
got my sister's tools out of it,
Yeah,
just woodworking tools,
right,
yeah,
that's why, it's like, I got cameras all over the place.
Yeah.
And so does Kevin and Bruce does too, because it's like, you don't know.
yeah. So it's something to think about. We've had the sheriff here once before, but back then, it wasn't so bad. We were low hanging fruit, that's why we they didn't patrol as much. But I did see a deputy drive by my house today. So, something to think about, if we get him back here and see what.
You see the state police around a lot more too.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
But I've heard that they're not supposed to be over here, they're just.
No, we use Cumberland County, but they are.
Yeah, yeah. But it's still, I don't know.
We just never know.
Yeah, I think that whole law enforcement system that we have now it's whacked.
Yeah.
It's totally whacked. I mean, I was reading to you guys, I'll share with you. Now it's no longer, a criminal infraction to drive with a license suspension.
What?
Without a license or an unregistered vehicle in Cumberland County, because the jails are so full, it's a civil infraction now. So they're no longer enforcing it.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I
You
know,
know,
yeah.
so the whole,
It's not that,
You know,
it's not that they've changed the legal, definition of it, it's that they won't enforce it. That's why a lot of stuff is done.
right, you know, it's rumored that, you know, the guardrails up there were smacked by a drunk driver, a teenage drunk driver that just got let off.
Oh,
Because no harm was filed, you know, nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
That's what I heard, rumors,
all right.
doesn't mean it's true, but,
Yeah,
I mean, we can see by what's going on in the town,
Right.
that law enforcement really aren't,
yeah.
not
I
that
see
they
them
don't
come
care,
flying
but,
through all the time, I get, you know,
you know.
ambulance is true, but I see the cops all over the place.
Yeah,
I think they're still chasing the bigger crimes of drugs.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, 100%, that's what takes up the time and
Yeah,
stuff, but.
yeah,
Look how many times they're over on Pincus Road.
oh, yeah.
And, you know,
Well, on the farmhouse up past your house there.
yeah,
There a lot.
yeah. That's probably where that one was going today, they head that way. But, yeah, and the Grapham Road, it's, they slap their hands and let them out.
Right, so that's what I'm wondering, if it's, I know this issues have been raised over the years in Baldwin, but, paying for a deputy. I mean,
That's,
which seems almost like an extortion level, because we already pay Cumberland County, you know?
my
But
point.
is that what it's become, you know, do we?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only have so many, they have 6 deputies for like Standish in here, and they're on a rotating, that's what was explained to me when I was talking, you know, emailing back and forth, so.
Yeah,
And a lot of it too, in the defense, and like I said, in bash cops, because I love cops, always have. In their defense, the judge and the jury's not gonna do anything anyway,
right,
so.
yeah,
How much of their time do they waste bringing somebody in that's just gonna get
right, yeah.
booted right back out with no charges? So I think it's a whole degradation of a lot of things.
I was talking, when we lived in Wyndham, I was talking to a cop over there, and, you know, he was saying that, you know, if someone's speeding through Wyndham, they don't get the fine, the state gets the fine, so where's the incentive to, you know, to control it? You know, town of Wyndham don't get the fines, it's the state.
Well, they do hang out when they have the burnouts, they do hang out down there.
You could, consult Parsonsfield.
I know they have the sheriff over
I
there.
don't know if they still have them or not, but
I know I was watching maybe an old town meeting, or maybe a discussion I had with somebody, but, he was justified, because I think they were trying to get rid of him, only because of budget reasons
Yeah.
and whatever, and, he was saying he's justified because he's in that area, and he can recognize cars that aren't supposed to be in that area, and then pull them over. Well, that goes against every Fourth Amendment right that anybody ever had, you know, so. I think that's, you know, you get into like that town cop situation, they're gonna be doing that, you know? Like, okay, well, you know, my truck's not supposed to be going by Joe's driveway, so let's pull over that truck and see what.
Oh,
I think it goes beyond,
yeah, that's going some, yeah.
The question is, how do you make a police presence, if you hired one, effective?
Right, yeah.
Which part of town is more, crime ridden?
Yeah, right now it's the west end.
Yeah, it changes around.
Yeah, it was down here, Pigeon Brook, now it's moved up there and set a few people.
I know where we used to live in Bowden, Virginia, the thing called, Neighborhood Watch was big,
Mm-hmm.
and
Doesn't do me any good.
I don't have any neighbors, do.
Yeah, right.
well, what you had was a group of citizens who would, sometimes randomly, sometimes on schedule, be out driving around the neighborhoods, just seeing what's going on.
Right,
If they see something suspicious, they would call a cop.
yeah. I think Sebago still has a sign up on 107.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we go back to the original problem of, the no enforcement, so.
Yeah.
You can call the cop all you want, but,
I think
that's
You
beyond
have
our
to catch them in the
control.
act of doing something.
Right.
Right.
Well, that kid that was down across from Louisville stop, renting that place down there, and they caught him on tape burning rubber in the middle of the road down there, and all he had to do was say, it wasn't me driving, and they couldn't, the cop couldn't, they called the cops, and the cop couldn't do anything about it.
Wow.
Zoom in on the face.
Right,
Yeah, I think just everybody needs to stay vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
The answer might be, everybody get
I know
surveillance cameras and.
there's been several times that they've stopped and asked for stuff off from my cameras from the Four Corners, so like.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All
Second.
in favor?